Hello, welcome to Laser Etched Wine Glass. My name is Ken from the Digital Services Department. To complete this tutorial, you will need to download a free software called Inkscape, which we will use to create our designs. After your design is complete, I will show you how to send me the file so that it can be etched. I will then send you an email when the wine glass is ready to be picked up from the library. If you need help completing any part of this tutorial, please email me at digitalservices@BALibrary.org. For those of you that signed up for the program, there will be no charge for this wine glass. Because space for the program is limited, if you did not sign up, or if you're watching this video at a later date, you can still complete this tutorial, but please note that we charge $1 per wine glass for projects outside of programs. Here is a picture of what a completed wine glass will look like. Note that the glasses are stemless. Let's start by going to BALibrary.org. Scroll down the page under Upcoming Events. If you see Laser Etched Wine Glass, go ahead and click on it. If you don't see it listed here, then just go to Register/View All Programs and then search for Laser Etched Wine Glass, and then it will bring you to the event page here. This is where we have links to download Inkscape and also for the wine glass template. So first, let's click on Download Inkscape, and then go to this download button and click Current Version. If you have a Mac computer, go ahead and click Mac and the download will start instantly. Then just follow all the rest of the prompts to finish the installation. If you have a Windows computer, then click on this Windows link. And most likely you will want to download the 64-bit version here. So just click it and then follow all the rest of the prompts to complete the download. If you have an older computer, then you may need to download the 32-bit version. After Inkscape is downloaded, we can go ahead and download the template. Click the link right here, and that brings us to Google Drive. Go ahead and click this download arrow in the corner, and then the file will download to your computer's downloads folder. Next, let's open up the Inkscape app. This is what Inkscape looks like when you first open it up. Let's go up to the File menu and click Open. Then navigate to your Downloads folder, and then go ahead and choose wineglasstemplate.svg and click Open. Now, the file might not appear in view here. A quick way to get it to automatically zoom in is if you hit the 5 key on your keyboard. Then we see the full image of the file. Next, let's make sure that our dimensions are set to inches instead of millimeters. So you might see, as long as it's 1 through 5 here, that means that it is set to inches. If for some reason it's not set to inches, go ahead and go to File, and then Document Properties. And then go ahead and change display units to inches, and then also change the units down here to inches as well. The reason why the document is oriented this way is because I need to place the wine glass in this direction inside the laser cutter. So it just saves me a lot of time later if we rotate our designs to match this direction where it says top of glass here. You'll also notice there are 2 guidelines. For best results, we want to keep our design inside of these 2 lines. This will make sure that it doesn't get too close to the top or too close to the curve at the bottom of the glass. Let's talk about moving around the document. We can zoom in by hitting the plus key on your keyboard. We can zoom out by hitting the minus key. And if at any time you get too far zoomed in or out, you can always hit the 5 key, and that will bring you back to the automatic zoom. Now let's go through the designing process. I will talk about 2 options today. The first option will be making a design with an online tool called Monogram Frames. The second option will be searching for an image on the internet and importing it into Inkscape. I'll also show you how to add text to the design. If you already have a file that you want to use, you can skip ahead in this video to the part where I talk about importing a file into Inkscape. If you need a little bit of inspiration to create a design, then go to monogramframes.com. Monogram Frames is a very helpful website with pre-made designs. They have a lot of options for you to explore. So if we scroll down the page here, we'll see this is the design area. On the right hand side is where you can select a frame or an outline. And then on the left hand side, you can select which font to use. If you select one of the fonts with only a single letter, then you'll only be able to type in a single letter. But if you choose one of the fonts with multiple letters, then you can type in initials or a full word. So go through the categories and find a frame that you like. If you choose a design with multiple colors, just know that the laser cutter will only etch in one color. It's not actually going to come out looking colorful. It's just going to be etched in kind of a grayish color on the glass. After you pick a frame out, then come over to the left hand side and pick out a font that you like. And then you can type in your letters on top here. So after you are completely done with your design, scroll down the page even more and click on this download your files. Don't click on this start. This is just an advertisement. So go ahead and click on download your files. And then scroll down here, click this box that say you've read the terms, and then go ahead and download the SVG file. And now the file will be in your downloads folder. So let's go back to Inkscape. Let's import our file by going to File and Import. And again, navigating to your downloads folder. And then find the monogram frame that you just created and click Open. And click OK. And now it is imported inside of Inkscape here. So at this point, really the only two things that we're going to do is we're going to resize the image and then we're going to rotate the image so that it lines up with the glass. So again, I want to keep my design inside of these lines. If it goes too far over the line, then your image might be a little distorted because of the curve of the glass. So I'm going to go ahead and make this a little bit smaller. If you click on your image one time, then you'll notice these arrows come up. Hold down the Control key on your keyboard and then click and drag on the arrow to make it smaller. So I think that's probably good. If you don't hold down Control, then notice that the image will distort because it's not going to scale proportionally. So another point, if you want to undo something, go up to Edit and go to Undo. You can also do Control Z or Command Z, depending on your computer. Once we get the file the size that we want, we can move it by pressing on the arrows on the keyboard. So I see that now it's exactly where I want it. Okay, so now let's go ahead and rotate it. If you click twice on the image, you'll notice that the arrows will change to rotation arrows. Go ahead and hold down the Control key again, and then you're going to want to click on one of the corner arrows and then turn it 90 degrees like that. You'll notice that it will snap 6 times to get it to turn 90 degrees like that. It doesn't matter if the image is close to one of the edges, because just think of this as, a circle. This edge is the same as this edge. Really all that matters is that it's between these lines. So we don't have to center it perfectly on the page, just as long as it's between these two lines. That's all that we care about. The last thing that we want to do is delete where it says top of glass. If we keep it, then those words will actually etch on the top of the glass, and we don't want that. So go ahead and just click that, and then hit delete or backspace on your keyboard. We do not have to delete these two lines. They are just markers that I put in here, and it's only for Inkscape. So these two lines will not etch. If you are interested in how to delete these lines, then just click on the line and then hit delete. But again, that is not necessary to delete the lines. Now we can go ahead and save the file. If we go up to File and Save As, please save your file as your first name and your last name .pdf. This will help me in knowing whose file is whose. After you name your file, make sure that it is a PDF file. You can come down here and change the format. So just find PDF. Go ahead and save it to your computer's hard drive. Then submit your file to me by attaching it to an email and then emailing digitalservices@BALibrary.org. If you want your design to include an image from the internet, then this is how to do that. When you're searching for a picture, just make sure to include the word silhouette or clip art. That will really help when finding a good image. Basically, we want the image just to be black and white. The fewer colors, the better, because then the laser cutter will be able to etch a much sharper image. So today I feel like doing a bird, so let me search for eagle silhouette, and let me go to images and try to avoid things with watermarks on them because those are copyrighted images. So for example, just click on an image that you like, and then go ahead and right click on the image and click Save Image As. And then you're going to save it to a folder on your computer. I'll save it to my downloads folder here. Click Save. Okay, so back in Inkscape, again, I want to go to File and Import. And then I'm going to find my eagle image, click Open, and OK. Once my image is inside of Inkscape, I want to convert it to SVG format. So let's go up to Path and Trace Bitmap, and then go ahead and click on Update, and we'll see a rough version of what it will look like when it's converted. If you click Update and you don't see your image, then change the brightness threshold. You might want to turn it up a little bit, so you can just click the plus button a couple times. If the image is too dark, then you can click on minus a few times. So just make sure it looks good. That looks pretty good. Click Update again to see. And then go ahead and click OK. And then you can close this box. So now you will have two images. One is on top of the other. So go ahead and click that one, move it over here. So we want to keep the image that you can see this line passing through. We want to delete the image where there's like a white box around it. So the new image should be on top there when you click and drag it off of the old one. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that image. I'm going to move it back here. And then now again, I'm just going to go through the process of resizing it and then rotating it. If we want to add text to this, we can go ahead and click on the letter A, which is the text tool over here. And then go ahead and click somewhere on the page over here. And you can type, in a name or whatever you want. Then you can scroll through the fonts in the upper left here. If you just click inside this box and then scroll up and down using the arrows on your keyboard, then you can see the different fonts that are available. And then you can also change the size of the font over here. Okay, so again, you can rotate this. And another thing that we can do is we can center the image with the text that we just created. So go ahead and choose one object and then hold down Shift and then click the other object. And we want to go to the Align and Distribute menu. You might see Align and Distribute already over here. If you don't, then just go up to Object and then click Align and Distribute, and then you'll see that menu pop up over here. Make sure that both pieces are selected. And then we want to center it to the page. So from this drop-down list, click Page, and then let's go ahead and click Center on Horizontal Axis here. So now we know that they're both centered on the horizontal axis. If we wanted to move the name closer, then just nudge it with the arrow keys. And also, if you wanted to group them together to make them one image, you can click, then press Shift and click again, and then go up to Object and Group. So now these two things are grouped together. So if I wanted both of these to fit inside of the lines, then I can resize them together. If I hold down Control, then I should be able to resize like that. And again, we want to delete top of glass, so just select that and hit Delete or Backspace. And then we're good to go. Go up to File and choose Save As, and save it as a PDF, and then email it to digitalservices@BALibrary.org. Thank you for completing today's tutorial. Feel free to email me with any questions, and take care.